Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Sophia.
And that's Stormy. And
we are the Spindrift Empire.
Welcome to episode 2.
Hello, everyone.
So, we wanted to break down one of the points that we made in our last episode about the fundamentals of nomadic life. Why don't you start?
This isn't have to get edited.
No,
There's
it's not.
No way this is going to happen.
It's not getting edited. This is all going on. So the last episode, we had a pad between us, and we had basically everything that we wanted to say was not only written out, but it was color-coded with a highlighter to indicate which one of us was supposed to do the speaking.
I'm just not really an off-the-cuff kind of person, but we figured today we'd talk to you about the fundamentals of a nomadic lifestyle, how to be successful, which our formula is food, shelter, clothing, and a plan. And today we want to talk about our plan a little bit, kind of like how this wasn't really planned out very well.
Yeah. We are brand new at this, and we have plans. Every week we have plans for how we want the video to go for that week. And so far, twice, they've both been absolutely not at all what we planned. And it's mainly because we're really, really bad at planning for these videos.
For example, we were supposed to be working on this video all week and figuring stuff out. Instead, we had a random trip to Juarez, Mexico, which is a couple hours away, to eat some street food.
Worth it.
I found a place I'm really interested in collecting rocks at. We were only supposed to be here in Hatch, New Mexico for a few days, and we're going on 2 weeks. So, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but the background is the same this week. It will not be the same next week because we have to move every 14 days when we're camping like this. So this Sunday will be our 14th day, and that'll be, we time it so that Sundays we pack up camp and move to the next place.
And just as a reminder, we're on public land, which is owned by the people. It's for the people, but you have to be respectful of the boundaries, and the laws are in effect for, you know, protecting the land. We've been here for 2 weeks. You can start seeing some wear and tear on the ground. The idea is you camp for 14 days and you move on to let that site rest. So
right. So the plan for this video was that we were going to do an overview of all 4 of the fundamentals: food, clothing, shelter, and a plan. But as each day sort of took its priorities, we had to trim more and more from it until it became just the plan. And I think that there's a correlation between the way our planning has been a failure in the beginning of this project and the way our planning for this lifestyle was sort of a failure in the beginning. When you start a new thing, I think you're just really crappy at planning for it. So
because you don't have experience, and that's
right.
Part of, you know, one of the things that why we want to share this with you is because we've been doing this for 10 years now. So
yeah, hopefully you can learn from some of our mistakes. So when it comes to planning, we mean a few different things. I would say it all starts out with, well, you were saying as we were preparing for the video, it all starts out with savings.
Yeah, so we worked 6 months this past year, this summer, working for the Billings field office for the BLM in Montana, and we saved about $10,000. But we only did that because we were in a place we wanted to be, doing jobs we wanted to do. So that was like our reward. And instead of, you know, going out and spending a bunch of money, like, not that I didn't want to go out to eat sushi, fancy sushi every weekend, we found alternatives, you know, and you just, in order to have this lifestyle and to travel and be comfortable and prepare for disaster and things going wrong with your vehicles, what you're towing, you know, saving money up for rent for an apartment in the next place you're going to be, you have to take all this into consideration.
That's right. You gotta, like, we basically saved 50% of our earnings, which meant we were living very frugally when we were in Billings. We had an apartment, but instead of buying furniture, even at thrift stores, we just found factories in the city that were willing to give us all the pallets we could haul away, and we made all of the furniture out of pallets. The shelves, when we get to the video about shelter and we give you the tour of the trailer, the shelving that's in there, that's all reclaimed pallet wood. We did a lot of different projects with the pallet wood over the over the summer. So the savings is really the heart of planning for this part of the lifestyle. The amount you have saved dictates how long you can stay out camping, because it's not about burning through the whole thing. You have to have thousands of dollars when you get to your next city to pay deposits to move into a new home. So that has to always be forefront. Finances is a completely different episode.
That's true. So let's leave off with, you know, as
Have
much
enough
as,
money to go
yeah,
out and play. You want to make sure that you have enough for the gas, enough to do what you want to do, but also enough if there's an emergency.
we know that since we're towing with a half-ton pickup truck and we're towing light, like our trailer weighs under, what is it, like,
It's like 2,000 pounds empty, and we get it to around 3,000 pounds. We'll probably add about 2,500 pounds, so it's a really light trailer.
we know how much gas it takes us to get from point A to point B. You can use gasbuddy.com if you don't know what gas prices will be like.
Gasbuddy.net.
Oh, I'm sorry, gasbuddy.net.
I think it's .net.
Okay. So anyways, there's, you know, there's apps, there's websites that can help you plan that part of your journey. We know that we're going to come down to the desert where it's warm in the wintertime, so we don't have to worry about, like, really about having heat or anything like that. You know, we have like a shower tent. We find hot springs that, you know, we can go get a shower and a soak in.
We're
Yes.
freshly clean for this video, which is nice. We went and soaked and took our shower just before doing this video, so you're welcome.
But with our savings, we know that we can spend comfortably like 5 or 6 months on the road, having our bills. You know, you have to consider what your monthly bills are. Like, we have a payment on our truck every month. We have cell phone bills,
Insurance,
all that
student
kind of
loans.
stuff. We know that we have enough to cover 6 months worth of that, and then depending on how frugally we live, we can get away with longer and longer.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Yep.
people like short vacations where they can go and, you know, to the extreme and be in a fancy place, but for us this is a lifestyle, so we want to be out enjoying it as long as we can, and it just comes down to choice in that regard.
Yep, for sure. We spend all of our time on public lands because it's free, and there's no facilities or anything, but you don't have to pay to be here, which is really nice. So it's important to get to know the rules and regulations, things like no more than 14 days in a site. You have to give yourself a certain amount of distance between you and any water, things like that.
Between you and the roadways.
Yeah, so you have to be aware of those rules. There's always a field office that you can find and talk to them, and they'll be happy to help you, like actually genuinely happy to help you. They're always really cool. So that's kind of like what we were talking about it as the plan for no plan. In our last video, we were saying, like, where are we going to be for Christmas? I don't know. Where are we going to be next week? I don't know. And we felt that there might have been some perceived contradiction between that and what we just said about there needing to be a plan. And sometimes it's okay to plan for no plan. We love just getting on the road and going. Like, we were supposed to be here for a few days. We were here for 2 weeks. We were supposed to go to Alabama Hills in California for a day. We were there for 2 weeks. And we just really cherish that freedom that comes with knowing that we're covered. And then when we're not covered, we need jobs.
Yeah, so the way I see it is, no matter what period of your travels or work you're in, you always need to be preparing for the next season. There's 2 times that you can briefly not worry about anything. It's usually after you've moved to a new city or a new park or ranch or whatever, and you just started your new job and you can kind of like relax for a bit. You know, you have money coming in, you're recovering from your travels, and you can relax, you know, but...
A vacation from the vacation.
Yeah. The other point is, when you can relax a bit, is when you first get on the road and you have all your money saved up and you get to your first spot. Like, the first few weeks, we kind of just let go. We'll go out to dinner and, you know, we'll treat ourselves to stuff. And after we get it out of our systems, then we kind of, you know, settle into a campsite and, you know, just explore locally, get out in nature, and kind of cut our savings down, start going to the grocery stores and letting that be your adventure. You know, in the Southwest where we are, every grocery store is a journey where discovery where you go in and there's all kinds of unusual foods. So
Yeah, and so when it comes to planning for work, we get sidetracked by food. When it comes
really
to planning
hungry.
for work, in the past when we worked for the concessionaires, we primarily used a website called coolworks.com, and it is a great resource for seasonal work at resorts, farms, things along those lines. We loved it in the beginning because most of the jobs come with housing. They come with room and board, so you've got a place to eat. It's all inclusive, so to speak, and it's safe. So we like that in the beginning. Currently, we are working and continuing to try to find work in the federal employment, so working in the public sector instead of the private sector. And for that, we use a website called usajobs.gov.
But yeah, either way you do it, know your limits. We started out small. It was safe to work at a park. You're already in a really cool place. It's basically college campus for adults, or for people who are willing to get out there and adventure. And as you get older, like we did, and you want to start developing a career, we got to a point where we wanted to be working for the agencies that were taking care of the lands that we love so much, and this is why we expanded into this direction. So get out there, try new stuff, build your skills, and see where it can take you.
Yeah, we were going to talk about a bunch of stuff as well when it comes to like the transition between work and play and work, and how you can kind of approach that, but I'm seeing that this video is hitting almost 12 minutes, and we don't want to bore you. This isn't riveting entertainment, and we're not going to turn this into a half-an-hour show of us just yapping at you.
Not while we're trying to find our pace still.
Right. So, and like I said, we want this to be a two-way conversation, so please don't forget
to like,
comment, and subscribe. See you next week.
Thank you.
Next Wednesday.